Good day and welcome back to another Dbz Dokkan battle video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the latest unit to come to Dbz Dokkan battle, or preview the latest unit to be announced for Dbz Dokkan battle. That will be coming pretty soon in the shape of the Piccolo and Gohan Kid exchange unit. So this is a pretty interesting unit. Let's talk about them and their banner unit, Vegeta and Nappa. So they're a Bundle Master and Disciple lead or Saiyan Saga category lead of 170% with an extra 30% for characters who also belong to Earthbred fighters. So this includes Gohan Kid, Piccolo, Tien, Yamcha, Yajirobe, Krillin, Goku, etc. So pretty good stuff across the board there. Gaze of Respect, Demonic Ways, Cold Judgment, Brainiacs, Z Fighters, Infighter, and Fierce Battle are their link set. They're going to link up great with any Gohan Youth. Basically, Gohan Youth has like this weird link set like this, which is like basically a Piccolo link set. So they're going to link up pretty good there. Also will link up pretty decently with other Piccolos. Then let's talk about their passive. So this is in their pre-exchange form. It's Ki +2, attack and defense of 150%, an additional 150% attack boost depending on the amount of HP remaining. The less HP remaining, the greater the attack boost. An additional attack and defense of 100% when performing a super attack, and damage reduction by 40% if HP is 70% or more when receiving an attack as the first or second attacker in the turn. It's nice that it's first or second attacker in the turn, gives them a little bit of flexibility. Bond of Master and Disciple or Super Saiyan Saga or Saiyan Saga category allies get Ki +2 and attack and defense of 30%. And Superclass allies will get Ki +3 and attack and defense of 30% for 3 turns as the third attacker in the turn. So very interesting 3-turn support there basically. If HP is 70% or less at the start of the character's attacking turn, or starting from the 7th turn from the start of battle, they will revive with 70% HP recovered by exchanging with Gohan Kid when the character or an ally attacking in the same turn is KO'd once. Bundle Master and Disciple, Saiyan Saga, Earthbred fighters, joint forces, powerful comeback, exploding rage, and entrusted will are the categories. So let's just quickly talk a little bit about this. So damage reduction is pretty good, 70% or more if you have the damage reduction is pretty decent. First or second attack, it gives a little bit of flexibility. It's a nice support unit for sure. Bundle Master and Disciple, Saiyan Saga support, 30%, pretty nice. Superclass category allies, really nice support as well for 3 turns. So if you have these guys as a floating support on the turns they're on, they'll basically give 60%. On the turns that they are not, they will give 30%, which is pretty good. So if their HP is 70% or less, or starting from the 7th turn, from the start of battle you will revive with 70% HP when the character or an ally attacking the same turn is KO'd. So pretty decent stuff, honestly speaking, all around. I think they look really good. Very nice flexible kit, lots of good utility. Very good stuff in the base form. Greatly raises attack and defense for 1 turn on the super attack effect and causes damage to the enemy. Now when you revive, you will exchange into Gohan Kid. Very cool. And Gohan Kid, obviously same leader skill, link skills are the same, which is all fine. Then we have Ki +2, attack and defense of 150%, and additional attack and defense of 100% when performing a super attack, and if HP is 58% or more, an additional attack of 100%. We'll get an additional attack and defense of 300% and perform a critical hit when performing a super attack, and Ki +12 for 1 turn from the character's entry. So for that first turn after revival, huge, basically a massive character. Attacks effective against all types starting from the 3rd turn from the character's entry. Superclass allies get Ki +2, great chance of performing a critical hit when there's a pure Saiyan's category enemy, evades the enemy's attack, including super attack for 1 turn from his entry, and a high chance of evading the enemy's attack, including super attack starting from the 3rd turn from the character's entry, when there's an ally whose name includes Goku on the team. So very interesting. Basically, it's just literally the base form. Well, not base form, but it's like the base passive of the first form. But obviously attacks effective against all types, which gets added in, which is pretty good. You lose the support capabilities, which is very interesting. You get the great chance of performing a critical hit with a pure Saiyan's enemy, which is fine. Guaranteed evasion for 1 turn, which is pretty good. Couple that with the fact that they have super high defense with that extra 300%. And then of course as well, getting that high chance of evasion starting from the 3rd turn. So on paper, it actually feels like I don't want to say they get worse, but they very much change. So, Gohan and Piccolo is more damage reduction, support for 3 turns, very clearly a unit that's, designed to, how can I say, be like a floater, good floater, or a second slot unit, very solid. When they turn into Gohan, Gohan definitely feels more offensive orientated, basically a unit that's far more, how can I say, offensively suited. Second slot unit, high chance of evasion, big attack stats, attacks effectively against all types, and of course as well crits against pure Saiyans. Definitely feels different, but overall still feels good. I think the loss of support is a bit of a shame though, for the category, thinking of Saiyan Saga, but yeah. Massively raises attack for 1 turn and causes immense damage, so pretty good there. You can build them pretty much mainly additional, I feel, probably for both phases, maybe additional, but the crit to take benefit of the attacks effectively against all types just feels pretty good, plus double massive raises is always really nice on a character. Then we get their banner unit, which is Awakening of the powerful Saiyans, Vegeta and Nappa. So they are a terrifying conqueror's lead of 130%, brutal beatdown, samurai race, and pride, tough as nails, over 9,000, shocking speed and fierce battle. They're going to link up okay with either a Nappa or a Vegeta. Like samurai race, tough as nails is more a Nappa thing, but Saiyan pride, over 9,000, shocking speed and fierce battle are more of a Vegeta Saiyan Saga thing. So decent links, terrifying conquerors, pure Saiyans, joint forces, space traveling warriors, Saiyan Saga, planetary destruction as the categories. Then we have the passive skill, attack and defense of 150%, an additional attack of 80% when performing super attack, key +1 up to 4, an additional attack and defense of 30% up to 120% with each attack performed, launches an additional attack that has a great chance of becoming a super attack, has attacks effective against all types when the target enemy is in attack down or defense down status, and reduces damage received by 30% as the 3rd attacker in a turn. Guards all attacks when there's another Terrifying Conquerors or Pure Saiyans category ally attacking in the same turn. So pretty interesting here. Obviously another unit that gains quite a bit on Super. Definitely benefits from additionals. Has already built in additionals. Attacks effective against all types. And when attack down or defense down is not so relevant for super hard content, but it's pretty good for SBR and ESBR. The damage reduction as the 3rd attacker in the turn is pretty interesting, and the guarding all attacks is very interesting. So guarding all attacks is kind of designed to keep them being a very solid unit for things like AoEs and that, whereas the damage reduction is more designed to kind of placate them to the 3rd slot, but still very good. I think they have a very nice kit functionality as a unit. They raise their attack and defense 1 turn and lower the attack and defense of the enemy. I think overall they actually look pretty good. They're very simple, but I think they are solid. They'll be a floating damage dealer, or they can be a relatively solid 2nd slot unit that you can kind of rely on to not die and do some decent damage and just kind of facilitate potentially other units that have a good link set for them. So I think overall pretty good unit actually, very interesting unit as well. So I do actually quite like, them. We're going to take a look at the animations for the units and then see where we go from there. I think overall the animations for me are pretty good. I actually quite like the animations for both units. I think the general banning unit looks pretty decent. Obviously, it's a general banner unit, so people might think, but I think this is a really cool moment from the show, and I think it was done pretty well without necessarily being too overtly flashy, but very simple. I think Gohan and Piccolo look great. I think they really catch I want to say the grading or the coloring from the Saiyan Saga so great whenever they do it. That kind of darker hues with some of those lighter shadings, I think is really, really well done. And yeah, I think personally speaking, the unit looks great. The joint attack looks good. The little kind of exchange revive here looks great. I mean, this looks awesome. This just looks really well done, absolutely perfect. And yeah, I think for me personally speaking, I think honestly it's a great unit. I think animations wise it's super top notch. Maybe simple, but I think the Saiyan saga is really well captured here, and I think that ultimately at the end of the day, it's done really well, and it's done in a way that it's very pleasing. It's very entertaining. I think it's very true to the Saiyan saga, and the scene in the episodes from which it was pulled from or inspired by. And yeah, I think it's all really well done. The voice acting, always up for debate. Especially when it comes to Gohan's voice, it depends on which version of the show you prefer. So I'll leave that to kind of people, but I think it's okay. I think the voice lines they chose work well, and yeah,